Yes, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to GA Fan TV, and we are here today to discuss this weekend's Leinster semi-finals. Of course, first of all, if you are new around here, do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well, share this out to everyone. And yeah, guys, of course, we are here to preview the Leinster semi-finals. Meath, of course, are taking on Laois. We'll talk a bit about Dublin taking on Kildare as well. Yeah, huge games, obviously, guys. This is absolutely massive for all four counties, of course. Of course, the Leinster Championship in recent years has been fairly uneventful. Of course, with Dublin very often winning the championship very easily. And of course, you would still expect Dublin to go ahead and win the Leinster Championship easily again, but of course, who knows what might happen. We might see some surprises, and I will be intrigued to see how the likes of Kildare get on facing Dublin, and of course Meath and Laois as well. So we will start off by talking a bit about the game between Meath and Laois. Laois, of course, made it to a Leinster final last year, and they have of course they have a good habit of actually reaching finals at Croke Park at the moment. They were in the Division 4 final last year. In the league, they were in the Division 3 final. This year, in the league, of course, they lost the last two finals at Croke Park. They lost the Leinster final against Dublin, obviously, and they did lose the Division 3 final against Westmeath. But they did beat Westmeath in their most recent championship game, in the Leinster Championship, in a game where Westmeath were awful, but Laois were quite good in many respects. And yeah, Evan O'Carroll, I think, was very good for Laois in that game against Westmeath. He hit 8 points. Of course, you've still got the likes of Donald Kingston, and we know the way Laois are going to play. They're going to hit it long. They're going to try get in behind Meath and really try and put them under a lot of pressure. Of course, Meath were very poor in their opening game against Offaly. They, Offaly pressed them quite high up the pitch, and Meath didn't quite know how to react with it. Their kickouts were poor, and maybe the nerves got to them a little bit in that game. But of course, Meath still pulled through, still got the result, and of course went on to play Carlow, and they won that game very easily. Bit of a sloppy start, but of course once they got over that very defensive bracket that Carlow play, Meath were grand. They were alright in the end. Ben Brennan, Michael Newman, very good players from Meath. Young team coming through, a team that could very well potentially be, the team that's always kind of under Dublin's bracket in the Leinster final. The side that's always kind of pushing Dublin in the Leinster Championship. Who knows? Maybe there won't be. Maybe Meath will go out and put in a poor performance against Laois, and Laois will again be at another Leinster final. But ultimately, in this game, I would have to say that I fancy Meath. I just feel like they do have the better players in Ben Brennan, in Michael Newman. And, I just see them having a little bit more for Laois in the overall context of things. I know Laois will cause Meath a lot of problems, and I do think this game will be very, very close. I think you're looking at maybe a point or two in the difference, possibly a game going to extra time, and possibly, a game going to a replay. But of course we will have to go ahead and see what happens. We know Meath of strong players in there and a strong talent in there, so we will have to wait and see what happens. But I am going to say that I do fancy Meath to just about get the job done. I do see them just having a bit too much more in attack than Laois have in defence, and although Laois beat Westmeath, they weren't exactly amazing either in that most recent game. They only hit 12 points, so I'm going to say I fancy Meath to get the job done and to go ahead and get themselves into a Leinster final, which in my opinion, it's going to be Dublin. Of course I am from Dublin. There's no just bias there, of course. I mean, let's be honest, anyone who watches Gaelic football, the Leinster Championship in the past 8 or 9 years, knows that Dublin are just far more superior, not just in Leinster, but in almost in the entire country. So Dublin, yeah, playing at Croke Park, of course, against Kildare. Always very interesting when these two meet, of course. There's always a bit of a rivalry there. Kildare, they love bringing fans up to Croke Park. And it's always a great spectacle when these two play. And, this is how I feel like the Leinster Championship should be. I know it's great seeing teams like Carlow doing well, and Longford and Louth every now and again, but I feel like Kildare and Meath and Dublin, there's always a rivalry when these three counties, are somewhat involved with each other. And I do expect quite a fierce battle between these two. Kildare, they always raise their game. I feel like when they're playing a team, they know that it's better than them. We've seen that when they played Mayo in the qualifiers last year. But of course, when it can flip the other way as well. When they play teams that they should be beaten, they can sometimes struggle and they can sometimes, be all over the place. And we've seen that in their game against Wicklow. We've seen that in the first game against Longford, where, they were very lucky to even come out with a draw. But then, of course, at the weekend there, good performance in the end, beating Longford by 11 points, I think it was. Paddy Brophy, very good player for Kildare. Neil Flynn coming off the bench, hitting 5 points. So they do have quite a range of talent, Kildare, and we do know that there certainly is a lot of quality within their team. They reached the Super 8s last year, so and I feel like they could be there or thereabouts again this year. But of course, Dublin are a different animal. They've so many players they can choose from. Cormac Costello was the standout player in the game against Laois. 112 he hit in that game. A goal, of course. A majority of them were frees, but still always very good. You've got players like Kieran Kilkenny, Brian Fenton, and of course Rory O'Carroll coming back into the team now as well. So Dublin, quite a range of talent. You've still got some of the older heads as well, like Kevin McManaman, Bernard Brogan. So huge range of talent from Dublin, and you would have to feel that they will cruise past Kildare. Kildare might make it a bit of a challenge early on. They might, raise a few feathers, as they say. But I do eventually feel like Dublin will just have way too much in the overall spectrum of things for this game, of course. And yeah, guys, who knows with Kildare, how far they will go in the championship. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Can Kildare make the Super 8s? Are Dublin going to go ahead and make it 5 in a row and be the first team in provincial history to win? I think it's 9 Leinsters in a row, or is it 8? I can't quite remember, but I do know that it will be a brand new record, that no other county has ever won as many provincial titles in a row. So huge game for Dublin, huge game of course for Kildare and for Meath and Laois, but ultimately I am predicting that Dublin and Meath will play each other in the Leinster final, and Dublin will win. Yeah. But of course we will see what happens when that game comes around. I will make a preview when that happens. But yeah, who knows? There could be a shock. There could be some surprises. But ultimately, I am expecting Dublin to go through and Meath to do the same as well. So anyway, guys, my name has been Aaron. I will catch you all next time. Do let me know actually down in the comments below what you think will happen. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you all next time.